He raised the question to a better question. There was a question about the Vietnam region.
If they would have some talented talents, they would be able to come to Vienna. Why can it be changed?
I don't know.
That's some regime things, like coffee, all the things we done.
Right after Donald Trump's statement about considering tax reductions for goods for Vietnam, domestic social networks began buzzing with discussion. Everyone wondered whether this was a real opportunity or just a temporary political promise. While global coffee prices are rising, supply is fluctuating, and American tastes are gradual, Vietnamese coffee suddenly stands at the convergence. So the question would be, why does Donald Trump want to exempt Vietnamese coffee from taxes? In what context did he say it, and what does he understand about Vietnam's production capacity? The story is simple as follows. America almost cannot grow coffee alone, so reducing or exempting taxes will not affect domestic production. Therefore, when Donald Trump spoke on his private jet, saying he wanted coffee prices to drop a bit, that was an agricultural analysis.
This is a political and economic
message. It helps reduce price pressure for American people and creates the impression that the administration, while opening the door for deeper trade cooperation with Vietnam. Some international news agencies also reported that within the framework of agreements between the two, the U.S. side would maintain high taxes for many items but consider exemptions for certain. Coffee is under consideration and the official list will be announced later. There are three main reasons why coffee was chosen as a priority. First, coffee is a popular beverage that everyone uses, directly impacting living costs, so the political impact is very clear. Second, the U.S. doesn't have ideal soil conditions to grow coffee like leading countries. Therefore, exempting taxes on this important item is easy to explain. Third, this move could help the U.S. create a balance point when negotiating in other areas. Some U.S. officials also said that items the U.S. cannot produce itself will easily fall into the exemption. This shows they view coffee as an import-dependent commodity. As for whether Donald Trump understands Vietnam's production capacity, the answer is he understands at a general level. He knows Vietnam is a major supplier, exports a lot to the U.S., and plays a significant role in the world market. But expecting him to grasp all processing techniques, bean quality issues, or farmers' concerns about climate change is difficult. The president's statement is oriented toward politics and trade, not agricultural research. On Vietnam's side, coffee industry organizations responded quite quickly, calling this a major opportunity, but also noting that procedures, processes, and implementation timing need to. In summary, America's motivation is pragmatic and political. Coffee fits the thinking. We don't produce it ourselves, so exempt taxes. It's also an effective diplomatic tool. The U.S. side understands enough to negotiate, but not yet to the level of technical details and long-term challenges of Vietnam. In the past 2 years, Vietnam's coffee industry has been accelerating. The 2024-2025 crop recorded export turnover of about 8 to 8.4 billion United States. This is the highest level ever according to official data. Regarding the U.S. market, consumer tradition here favors Arabica coffee, with fruity aromas, mild acidity, and smooth texture. But the landscape is changing. Robusta, especially in instant coffee, blends, and espresso, is gaining position due to competitive pricing and stable supply. Many major roasters and premium retail chains have begun testing high-quality Robusta, even putting it on shelves with their own labels. Some specialized newspapers reported that for the first time, Vietnam in instant coffee exports in 1 month. This is a clear sign that global supply chains are shifting. Regarding who is adapting to whom, the answer is not simple at all. American consumption does not change tastes overnight. They remain loyal to high-quality Arabica. However, U.S. importers and processors are accepting blends of Robusta to reduce costs or create new flavor profiles. Conversely, Vietnamese businesses are not we are raising processing standards, improving traceability, and developing products that suit international tastes, such as smoother instant coffee or balanced Arabica Robusta blends. In short, both buyers and sellers are moving towards each other. In terms of quality, many professional reports indicate that Vietnamese Robusta has significant. Additionally, the deep processing industry has clearly boosted ad. However, there is still a gap with specialty Arabica from Brazil, Colombia, or Ethiopia. In terms of flavor complexity, this is not a flaw but a natural characteristic of a product. Efforts in certification, traceability, and brand are being promoted to change perceptions in the U.S. market in the long term. In summary, Vietnam's coffee exports are transforming towards high quality and product. Americans are gradually opening up to while Vietnamese businesses upgrade processes to suit foreign tastes. Each side moves a little closer, creating a broader market. In the global coffee market, Vietnam is not alone. Traditional competitors are numerous and strong. Naming them makes it seem a bit unfair. Brazil, Colombia, Indonesia. Each country has its own specialty. Brazil is a giant in the Arabica world with massive scale and product diversification capability. They produce everything from mass-market coffee to specialty items.
Colombia is famous for its mild, soft-flavored Arabica.
Anyone who drinks it praises it. Indonesia is strong in robusta and has some distinctive Arabica variety from mountainous regions like Sumatra or Sulawesi, but even these giants face headaches. Brazil is affected by extreme weather. A period of drought or an unexpected heat wave can severely impact. Recently, they have also faced high tariffs in some markets, causing significant reductions in exports. That gap opens the door for Vietnam to step in. The current competitive landscape is as tangled as wet rice. World coffee prices are high due to supply shortages. Financial speculative funds continuously play, causing prices to fluctuate. Additionally, trade policies and executive orders
from major countries can change the flow of goods overnight.
Meanwhile, consumer markets like the US are scrambling to fight off as traditional suppliers face problems. If Vietnam knows how to seize it, the opportunity to increase value and market share will be great. So where are Vietnam's strengths? First is the abundant robusta supply with competitive price. This is a golden advantage in a context where material costs are giving business. Second is the increasingly strong foundation of instant coffee. There was a time when Vietnam even surpassed Brazil in instant coffee exports. The ability to quickly expand production is also a special advantage for the market demands. Don't underestimate robusta. When quality is improved, robusta still has its place in both industrial and niche markets. The key issue is post-harvest farming techniques and selecting standard beans. Of course, not everything is rosy. Vietnam's national brand in the specialty coffee segment is not yet. Many businesses still focus too much on selling raw material. Farmers practice fragmented, small-scale farming, making it difficult to apply. Traceability is also difficult without policy support. Meanwhile, competitors like Brazil and Colombia maintain strong brand advantages in the premium Arabica segment. Therefore, competition is inevitable, but Vietnam doesn't need to copy them. The most suitable path is focusing on added value and long-term supply stability.
If you wonder whether Vietnam can grow Arabica, and whether it can shift to growing more Arabica, the answer is yes, but it's not that simple.
Currently, Arabica accounts for only a small portion of Vietnam's total coffee. They are mainly concentrated in high-altitude and suitable climate areas like Lan Dong, Son La, Dien Bien.
You can't just grow Arabica anywhere you want,
because this plant only grows well at altitudes from 1000 to 1000, where the climate is cool, with regular rain and stable temperature. If planted in lower or hotter areas, both quality and yield decrease. Besides geographical factors, Arabica is also quite demanding as it's sensitive, especially leaf rust disease, requiring stricter care and harvesting techniques. Meanwhile, most farming households in Vietnam are small-scale and therefore, applying uniform farming processes to produce high-quality products is not easy. Robusta is hardy, high-yielding, suitable for vast areas, which is why it has long dominated.
That's not that there.
Many localities have started specialized Arabica farming programs, testing new disease upgrading wet processing technology to improve flavor. Domestic businesses are also raising standards, targeting the specialty segment and enhancing traceability. But all of these require time, capital, training, and patience. In summary, Vietnam can definitely expand Arabica area but needs long-term investment, not haste. To succeed, we must change how we grow, process, sell, and even think.
This is a journey measured in years, even decades, not overnight.
The current reality is quite favorable. Vietnam has large raw material sources, and if the tax agreement with the US is passed, the advantage will, but opportunities don't automatically turn into money. We need a synchronized strategy from farmers. The focus is on strengthening deep processing and exporting branded products instead of selling raw. We need to invest in roasting, packaging, and cooperative linkages to achieve scale, reduce costs, and maintain. This helps increase selling prices and reduce dependence on market. Finally, we need to invest in quality and traceability with sustainable certification. Support farmers with standard harvesting and processing techniques to improve flavor, open the specialty segment, and build. Next, it is necessary to build a national. Vietnam can promote Vietnam Robusta Premium as a distinct specialty, collaborating with retailers, coffee chains, and roasters in the US to get the products on shelves, thereby changing consumer perception. A value chain development fund will support infrastructure investment and research, alleviating risk concerns that may. Additionally, research on drought-resistant varieties, sustainable farming techniques, and diversification of growing areas is. Businesses should also form product group alliances for each market to strengthen negotiation power and stabilize revenue. Instead of engage, if the tax agreement with the US is implemented, it will be a major incentive. However, it will take about 3 to 5 years of continuous action to improve quality, enhance deep processing,
income, and elevate Vietnam.
Like the journey? Subscribe and join the next expedition.